Mind once the money starts coming in.
Yeah. Okay. It usually says it's starting, and then it actually starts before it says it's live, but I think we're live. I say we're live. We're live. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us today for this live stream. I am digital artist and Corel Painter master Aaron Rutten, and I'm joined by my friend and fellow artist Lawrence Mann.
Hi, folks.
We're going to be drawing requests for you, the audience, today. So feel free to chat in, let us know where you're watching from, and if you have a request you'd like us to draw, we would be happy to draw that. Yay!
Yes.
If you want to guarantee that we'll draw that drawing, as long as it's nothing offensive or anything, too unreasonable, you can click the little $sign on the bottom of the chat, which is the super chat, and that will pin your drawing request or your comment to the chat. We'll see it, and we will draw it.
I'm looking for a good sound effects, but hey.
Lawrence is Johnny on the spot with the sound effects today. Johnny Boy is here. Boreas is here. Vanessa's here.
There we go.
Vanessa's just watching two live streams at the same time. Ours is one of them. The other one's Adobe CC.
No, that was us as well. I'm just multitasking. I do apologize. Here I am. I'm back. There we go.
Quinn and Quinn are here. So feel free to chat in and request something you'd like us to draw, and we will start drawing.
Hi, guys. Or we could just start drawing anyway.
Yeah.
Remember, super chat guarantees your drawing.
So I'm kind of drawing behind myself here. Draw a little word bubble here.
Just look at the sound effect. That's the sound effects we're going to use for super chat. Right. I'm just changing over.
I gotta get used to the chat being on the other screen now. I moved it, and I'm so used to the way everything was. Request for a dwarf, giraffe, a warrior with a warhammer. So my goal here is to practice for my upcoming event tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time at NAB, where I'm going to be drawing requests live via Skype. So this is going to be an hour-long event, and I need to be able to draw as many drawings as I can in a very short period of time. So that means that I'm going to try to keep my drawings quick and simple. And I am, just to make things easier, going to use a reference.
A dwarf with a warhammer, did I?
I'll try to keep it on screen too. That's always good. I'm picking out these animals a lot because I feel like if I'm gonna draw requests, I want to be able to draw things that I'm comfortable drawing. I don't know if you saw the live stream I did the other day where somebody asked me to draw Alf, and I didn't look at a reference, and I just tried to draw Alf from imagination.
Ooh.
It didn't look anything like Alf.
Did you then go and afterwards look at a picture of Alf?
Yeah.
Kind of cringe to yourself.
Yep.
Be like, oh, that's Alf. Oh.
Well, it all makes
I was
sense.
thinking Alf from Sesame Street.
Yeah. Well, it's a challenge to draw stuff as you remember it, and it's not like I watched a lot of Alf. You could ask me to draw Donatello from the Ninja Turtles, and I'd be able to draw that pretty accurately because I watched a lot of Ninja Turtles. Alf was not really my jam.
I watched Alf, but that was 30 years ago.
Yeah, well, it was for me too, but There's people who like to go back and watch stuff. I've come home drunk a few times and tried to find Night Court on YouTube. I'll admit that. And failed miserably.
No, that's fair enough.
So if you haven't guessed by now, I'm drawing a giraffe. The animal that I can relate to the most is the giraffe, I feel.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm tall and gangly. What
Fair
about you?
enough.
What about you? What's your spirit animal?
The stag.
The stag?
Yes.
Because you're virile.
Yeah, let's go with that. No, it's just an animal I've always revered and liked.
Yeah.
It's that simple. I grew up in the country. I've always liked stags.
Nice. I'm surprised that no one's asked us that question. I can't talk today.
Asked what question in particular?
What our spirit animals are. So we always get lots of questions about personal stuff.
That's true. You do get asked a lot of personal questions, don't you? In a live stream. Like a surprising amount of personal questions.
Well, it's like you're meeting, a lot of people are meeting us for the first time. It's like meeting a stranger. And so...
No, but this is what I'm saying. When you meet a stranger, you wouldn't ask
No.
a lot of personal questions.
Some people would. It depends on where you live, you know, like there's people when you pass them on the street who don't even know you and will say good morning, and there's people who will just ignore you and not even acknowledge you.
Yeah,
so.
I'm one of those weirdos that will talk to people in the streets. It's like there was a woman in the supermarket, and she was saying to her husband, "I don't know whether to get one or two of these," and that's all I heard in the conversation. And you know, I was just walking past, and I just went, "Oh, two. Two is always better than one," and
Yeah.
I just walked off. And like she laughed, and her husband just looked at me, like, "Who are you?" And I just thought, "Oh, it's just funny to comment on a random stranger's conversation."
Mm-hmm.
Because they'd be talking about that for like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah. Like, just decide already. This is easy.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do the upper part of the giraffe. It's tricky to draw stuff in a short amount of time because, you know, especially if you want it to look decent, they're going to print these things out for the people who request them. So, you know, I don't want to do like Pictionary drawings. But you kind of get sucked into it where you're like, okay, I'm done. No, wait, now I'm done.
Sometimes what's nice to actually zoom out and do it like this, where you do big brush. Oops, no, I went wrong.
Yeah, like
big brush.
thumbnail
and
sketch.
You zoomed out. Yeah. Sometimes that's better. Especially if you lower the opacity. You get that nice concept art feel.
Yeah, I'm so used to using a lot of layers for stuff that,
Yeah.
you know, it's...
But I find that'll help give you that quickness of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like doing that, like just starting out that way, not knowing what I'm going to draw, and then...
Yeah, but what you're doing doesn't have to be as finished and as polished as what you're doing there.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing to remember.
I guess for me, it depends on the complexity of the object and how familiar I am with it. If I'm more familiar with it, I would typically just go straight to a brush and start painting. But if I have to kind of work out as I'm sketching, you know, the features of a giraffe, it's just easier to sketch it first.
Another idea might be to actually start off with a dark canvas. Here, let me just scrap this grab this. Oops, I'll just unlock that layer. Invert that. Zoom in a bit. Here we go. And to do this way instead, go for a bit of a smaller brush.
Yeah, do it in grayscale and then add color.
Yeah. No, I'm not even on about that. But just paint light.
I see. Have the canvas toned. That way you have some of the value there already.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one of the pieces I did last night was a tanuki, a Japanese raccoon dog. I'd never drawn that either, but it was a very monochromatic animal. It was pretty much just like shades of brown and gray and white and black, and so that one worked really well for doing it monochromatic, and I'd used the tone from the background as kind of a filler for most of it. This color I picked... Huh?
Cool.
I was going to say, this color I picked just because it balances well on the camera, because what happens is if the background is too light or too dark, then it kind of distorts the colors of what I'm painting.
Yeah. See, what I find great when painting like this is that as well as using your white brush, you can just grab an eraser.
Yeah, and you're just using a white brush and then controlling the opacity with pressure, right?
Yeah.
And just letting it build up. And that's one of the things I really like about Painter 2017 is it has those glazing brushes that build up in that way, and you can do a lot of amazing things with those now.
Yeah, they just work seamlessly and really nicely as well.
Yeah,
I think for me that was actually a really big jump in Painter.
Yeah, it feels a lot like you're painting with acrylics and like you're actually glazing. It's a subtle change, but it does make a big difference.
Yeah, it just works.
Oh, no, I've gone and done it. Oh, I've gone and done it. I did this yesterday too. I'm not paying attention, and so I forgot to put my stuff on a layer. Whoops. No worries, that happens to people, so why not show how to fix that? Just select the background with the magic wand, invert the selection, cut your offending piece of artwork there, paste it back into place, go back to your background, deselect your selection, fill the background with gray, and voila. So I have to be lively for this event too, which means I have to have stuff to talk about. And that's also kind of tricky is when you're talking and drawing, it's hard to do both. You know, like it's hard to really concentrate on your drawing if you're trying to concentrate on always having something to say. So for the people who can do that, it's pretty impressive. I've definitely improved at it, because if I go back and I watch my older live streams,
it's a lot harder to do it.
I can't seem to do both at the same time.
No, which is why it's nice sometimes to film a tutorial, because what you do is you film it in dead silence and then you go back over and add the voiceover sometimes.
Yeah. Even that feels kind of tedious to me sometimes, though, especially if it's like, you know...
It does. It's nicer to film it all in once, but sometimes it's just easier and you can concentrate on both one at a time.
Yeah, it's a trade-off. Like, you end up with, you know, having to narrate something which is kind of a pain, or you have to cut out a lot of mistakes.
Well, that's also the other point, isn't it? Sometimes if you make a mistake, you can lose good things you've said in your voiceover and etc.
Yeah. This is a tricky job being a YouTuber. You gotta know a lot of stuff.
Well, I think there's definitely more to it than people.
Yeah. Did you ever take any kind of video classes or anything in school, or are you just kind of learning it all on your own?
God, no, there wasn't anything like that then.
Yeah. That's kind of the interesting thing is these people like us who didn't go to college to learn how to make videos can still make some pretty well produced stuff.
I think as well, over here in the UK, there's not the opportunities for things like that that there is in America. You know, I watch some YouTube videos, and they're like, "Oh, we're all going to this big YouTube conference, hangout thing," and it's just like, we don't have any of that here.
Yeah.
There's nothing for YouTubers in the UK, and if there is, there's like 5 people turn up, and it's in London, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's only for people who do like makeup and do you know what I mean? It's kind of like that.
Yeah, there
There
is
is not. There is nothing.
there
It's
is a
just that simple.
there's a Google studio in Seattle, and YouTube actually invited me to an event for creators. It was, kind of like they were just sharing tips, and they had some different big YouTubers like Linus Tech Tips and Judy's Time and all these other people who I've never heard of, but apparently have millions of subscribers. And so I went there thinking I was going to learn some really cool tips about optimizing my channel, but the problem is, like you said, it was all beauty channels, all vlogs, all family channels. Like it was all these people who had a lot of common interests, and they could learn from each other. But I just kind of got lumped into this other miscellaneous group, with the other people who are kind of doing something. And art tutorials aren't necessarily uncommon, but apparently in Seattle there weren't a whole lot of
Yeah,
people doing it. So I kind of felt a little
I'm
out of
just trying to
place.
think. Who can I think of in Seattle? And really, the I can only think of like there's a couple of guys who do like tips for YouTubers. They're like called the video creators or something like
Hmm.
that. And they're pretty much the only guys I can think of in Seattle.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot of either, but I'm sure there's a lot. But
Oh yeah, I'm sure there is, but I just not that I know.
yeah, I'm not really.
But I don't go watching all those you know beauty channels, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna read the comments for a sec.
Sure.
No, I was trying to actually touch scroll on my Mac then.
Yeah.
Donald Draw says Lawrence Mann is from Leeds, correct? Yes, I am.
This is the.
Apparently, Aaron, once you get 68,000 subs, you are very spied.
I'm very what?
Very spied. I think that's like verified. It could be painful.
Nice.
Quinn asks, what's the edge tool Aaron always uses?
The edge tool. Oh, the pinch brush for cleaning up the edges. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Any sort of it's called the pinch tool or the pinch brush in Corel Painter, but Photoshop has Liquify, which also has a pinch. So you could use that.
Yeah. Well, Donald says there are actually lots of YouTube things, but they are always in London, and they're normally about gaming. Yeah, I see some of these, and what I find is they're not even actually YouTube per se. They tend to be more just general, like social media events. They do have YouTube in there, but they tend to be like just gaming in general. Oh, Aaron,
Uh-huh.
I can't hear you.
You
Is
can't
that just me or is that everybody?
you can't hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah. I think we had a little
Sorry.
tech we had a
No,
little
that was just. I think that was just me.
no, we were just going through a little blip there because you were kind of cutting out for me too. Or getting a little
Okay.
garbled. So I think I turned off the Wi-Fi on my phone and that seemed to help, but that could have just been coincidence. I'm taking way too long on this piece, but I'm enjoying drawing it, so.
Slicks Slick says, "What up? Love your tutorials." I don't know if they're referring to you or me.
They're
I
referring to,
take it that's you because it's your channel.
they're probably referring
Um,
to both of us.
that would be nice.
There's a lot of people who know who we both are because we do these live streams together.
1123 asks us to draw a robot samurai.
That's a good idea.
You know what? Hit that hit that button and we'll make it happen.
Cha-ching!
Donald says he has a friend from Yorkshire and he has the same accent as me. Sitan asks, "Can you animate?" I can animate. I don't do it on YouTube though.
Yeah, I've done some in the past. I was pretty into it there for a while. I wouldn't say it was anything like spectacular, but from having taught myself animation, I think it was pretty good. But it takes way more time than I want to dedicate to anything. It's a really hard thing for one person to do, and in terms of being practical, from a YouTube standpoint, it takes so long to make one animation that you don't really get enough views from that animation. If you're starting out as a channel, to make it worthwhile. So
Yeah, exactly.
I should just do spots on this thing and stop spending so much time. So how long have we been doing this? I just want to get a gauge on how much time I've put into this one drawing. 22 minutes. So I probably already spent at least 15 or 20 minutes on this. So that is unacceptable in my book because I need to do this stuff faster. It's interesting when you draw things that you've never drawn before, you really learn a lot about that subject. Like I feel like I know what a giraffe looks like. Then I draw one and I'm like, oh, there's a lot of details that I wasn't aware of.
No, that's very true. A lot of the time you don't have image reference there, so
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not doing a very good job of keeping up on the chat, everybody. I'm really trying to focus on drawing, which I'm sure you probably don't mind because I tend to talk too much and not draw enough, so maybe that's all right.
Garrett asks what tablet we're using. Yes, we are both using the Cintiq 27QHD. If you go to my channel, Lawrence Can Draw, however, you can watch the exclusive only review of the Dell Canvas, which is coming out very shortly.
Dude, you're getting a Dell.
You're getting Dell.
They should bring that guy
by
back.
the way, Aaron, when I was just doing a Google image search for something, I came across that exact hat that guy had.
Yeah.
And that would have been awesome if you'd have had that. Are you looking at the YouTube screen at the moment?
The comments?
No, we're just the live stream of us.
Oh, you're making him ride the giraffe.
I thought you'd like that.
I was watching what you were drawing. I thought it was like a person in a wheelchair or something, and then I looked back and it's get off my giraffe.
It's not exact, but I thought, yeah.
That's fun. Kind of makes me want to do those collaborative drawings again that we did with Drawpile. It might be fun to revisit that because I know he's added a lot more to that program.
Oh, has he?
I haven't used it in a while, but I follow his Facebook page and see
Yeah,
his
that
stuff.
would be good actually. Nah, that would actually be fun.
Could do the old guess a sketch game again.
No, we do need to get back into that. Right.
Okay, I desperately need to wrap this up because I've gone way over time. You know, maybe I'll get lucky and it'll just be like people who don't really.
Can you draw a banana, please? I'd like a picture of an orange and stuff you draw.
Well, that would be all right, but maybe there'll only be a couple of people who will want something, you know, and so I'll only be expected to do a few drawings.
Maybe you just don't tell them you're doing requests.
Well, no, that was part of the company who hired me to do it. That was part of their idea, so.
Yeah, but if you don't tell the individuals that you're doing requests.
Yeah. To start, well, it's in my contract, so I have to do everything a certain way.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a bad giraffe.
I'm just thinking, what does a samurai look like? Because we've got to shut 1, 2, 3 up. 1, 2, 3. If you want a robot samurai that bad, hand in your pocket. You know how this works, baby. And if you mean, isn't there a cartoon called Robot Samurai?
I don't know. You'd have to ask the audience about that one. There's Robot Chicken. There's Samurai Jack.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
I mean, you'd have to figure there's got to be a Robot Samurai cartoon. If there's not, time to get on that. Okay, where's the layer I'm looking for here? There it is. It's tricky to have stuff to talk about because I'm so used to just filling time with talking about how I'm doing the painting.
Banana Samurai.
These people at the event probably aren't going to really care what brushes I'm using, so that's hard to have something to talk about.
Yeah.
It might be really, really noisy there too. He's going to have a dynamic microphone, which does a pretty good job of isolating sound. but that's also a concern. It'd be really, really noisy.
I won't worry too much about,
Oh, that's just how I am. Like I think about stuff a lot ahead of time and like try to work out every possible scenario in my head. So
Yeah, but that kind of stuff is, it's out of your control.
it is, but just kind of how I am. I can't. I know that, and I tell myself that, but still, I guess I don't have self-control. I still obsess on it. But I don't want to squander the opportunity, or I mean, you know how it is. Like, you do something and it's not your absolute best work, and then people will tear you up on YouTube over it, and I don't want to give trolls a reason to be like, "Hey, how come this guy got the gig? He can't even draw." So I want to actually like do a good job, and then there's going to be a lot of people there from the entertainment industry, and I want this to be, something that I can use in my portfolio to get more gigs like this. So
Oh yeah, completely. Are you YouTubing the whole thing?
yeah, they want me to record it and put it on YouTube. So that's why I had you help me earlier, because I need to make damn sure that recording comes out.
So am I getting a credit on the video?
We could put that up when I recorded. I don't even remember what we were talking about, but I'm sure it was probably.
Oh, did you record that as well?
No, just the part where you were helping me test it out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Did you record that?
Yeah. Just to make sure that it would come out. That's not a bad looking giraffe, I'd say.
Oh, thank you.
Samurais are a little tricky because it's like, they have that insane armor garb thing that they wear.
Well, I was gonna do one, but then I was thinking I can't even draw it from memory because I'm trying to think desperately what samurai looks like, and I can't even do that.
Yeah, just draw Shredder from Ninja Turtles. He was very samurai-esque.
Yeah, of course. He was, wasn't he?
I like that in the cartoon, he was voiced by James Avery, who was the dad on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, was that who voiced him?
Yep.
I did not know that.
You learn something new every day.
Shredder!
That's a good Krang. I liked that cartoon a lot as a kid, but then I watch it now and it's not as tolerable. Yeah. Okay, so that took me probably easily a half hour to draw. So that would have been half of my performance there, just for that one giraffe. But let's say maybe only one or two people requested something, then I'm still doing okay. Go ahead and group that. Giraffe. Okay, I'm happy about that as a painting. I'll answer a few questions here too. Why not?
Yeah, read a few of the comments.
I know we've probably answered this a million times, but maybe we can just give a short answer just because it's something easy to talk about. Garrett wants to know, how long have you guys been drawing?
Well, about half an hour.
Zing! I think he meant throughout your lifetime, though.
About half an hour.
I just started.
Picked it up quick.
I watched a couple of tutorials, and I bought. I've been drawing for probably, I don't know, 30 years. It's hard to say when I very first started drawing. I didn't ever stop.
Yeah.
Ridge Rock Arts here. Good to see you again. And he says, amazing giraffe. Thank you. Quinn says, thanks for the stream. You're welcome, Quinn. Donald's got a good comment. Donald wants to know, don't your eyes burn from that 27-inch display? I have a 22-inch, and after hours of drawing, my eyes are on fire. Does that happen to you, Lawrence?
Not really, but I mean, I do appreciate that in a sense because, you do step back every now and again after a few hours and kind of rub your eyes and go, ah. But then you just get a coffee and get back to work.
Maybe I'm not working on stuff for long enough for it to bother me, or it could be that I'm working during the day and I have a lot of light, because I don't have it like super bright, but I like to feel that when I'm in my office that I'm in an environment that like keeps me awake. So maybe I have less eye strain for two reasons. One, because I don't work for really long periods of time. I usually take breaks. And for two, because my eyes aren't straining to focus just on the Cintiq as the only light source in the room. So that could be part of it.
I think that's a big part of it. I take constant breaks, but what I also do is I also, as well as taking constant breaks, I also change the lighting in the room. I have the big light on, and then sometimes I'll just turn the light off, so I only have the Wacom on, and then sometimes I'll just have a lamp on, and I find doing that helps as well. I was talking to an artist last week who was showing me photos of his studio via Facebook, and he had like some really mad kind of LED setup. And he's a subscriber of mine on YouTube, and he was showing me his LED lights, and he had them all going all around his desk and everything like that. And to me, it was just my first thought was, doesn't this hurt your eyes?
Were they decorative LEDs?
All these different colored LEDs.
Well, that wouldn't be good for your. Is he an artist, or this is just?
I thought, at least it must throw off your color.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I thought it would be kind of fun. I have all these like, I'm doing live streams where you can see my hand and stuff. It would be kind of fun to have like a light off to the side, like a cool colored light or something. But that's exactly why I wouldn't do it, because I don't want to introduce colors, into the room. That's why the lights I have are all daylight colored bulbs, because they're as close as possible to being like natural light that has no color cast. And that's important because if you're using an incandescent bulb, which is the kind of old classic style light bulb, it's or even some LED lights, even some newer lights do this. It's a warm light, and so it's more yellow, it's more orange, and that affects the way that you see color while you're working. So neutral is best in my opinion. I actually have a video on that. I have a couple of videos on lighting. Keenan's here. Good to see you, Keenan. Art by Roku's here. Good to see you, Art. So I'm more than happy to draw another request here if anybody wants to throw out something. Cha-ching! Super chat will guarantee your request gets drawn.
I'm just busy doing a little drawing of Aaron here.
I thought that was a samurai.
No, this is my comedy Aaron. I've caricatured your face up.
Yeah. The sideburns are looking good.
That's what I was thinking.
They're like their own little animal now.
What I should do is, I should do a version here where I actually just kind of get rid of these headphones.
Yeah.
Oops, let me just change up my opacity. Where I kind of get rid of these headphones.
Ridge Rock says your caricature's looking great.
Thank you. And I
should cosplay Wolverine, says Quinn. Oh, maybe I'm getting prepared for something. Maybe I'm gearing up.
Maybe that's what he's doing tomorrow. Maybe that's part of his contract.
Yeah. Marvel will be there, and I'm gonna do some drawing for you, bub.
He is 6 foot something, so the
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman thing.
Yeah. Well, Wolverine's supposed to be short.
He is, but Hugh Jackman's kind of ruined that.
Why don't I draw a Wolverine? That's a good idea. Not the Wolverine, but a Wolverine. I'll keep with the animal theme. You look up Wolverine in Google, and then it's
All you get is half-naked pictures of Hugh Jackman.
exactly. Well, I have to put in Wolverine the animal, and that actually comes up in the search. That's gotta really piss off the Wolverine. He's like, I don't come up #1 in search anymore. You have to put in Wolverine the animal to get a picture of me. Screw that. Wolverine the animal.
Well, to be fair, there's no real reason for people to be Googling it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the character's fault that the Wolverine hasn't really been up to much lately. As harsh as that sounds, you want more exposure? Do more stuff.
Yeah, you need to do a little more than just eating carrion.
Exactly.
Another animal.
Nobody's fault but your own, Wolverine.
Yeah. Never drawn a Wolverine either. Wolverines are in the same family as weasels and ferrets.
There you go, Aaron. Your makeover is complete.
Nice. I'm trying to think of who that looks like. I don't look angry enough. I look like Wolverine's cousin who, just smoked a bunch of pot.
There you go. Okay, hang on. Oops. I had my big eraser on, that didn't work. There you go. You happier now?
Yeah. Now he looks more ferocious.
But less like you.
Huh?
You're not really an angry guy.
Oh, I'm
You
angry.
don't come across as an angry guy.
I'm pretty mellow until I'm angry, and then but yeah, I'd say for the most part I'm pretty calm. Somebody said that about my my rant video about comments and stuff, that was the most mellow rant they'd ever seen. Well, that's only because I cut out some stuff.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
I had the pinata effigy of somebody that I was just beating the heck out of with a baseball bat, and monkey blood was spilling out of it, and there were a satanic altar with candles around. But I cut that stuff out because I thought maybe that might not look good. So
Yeah, I think the altar with the blood and
it was a satanic altar with Doritos. Is that better? Okay. It's a little, looks a little squished because my camera is viewing my tablet from an angle. So what it should look like is more like that. But, oh well. Okay, so that'll be the sketch. And then fill that in like last time.
Kanan Kenner says that robot version of me that I drew is his phone wallpaper.
Nice.
Did you see that video that I did?
The cyborg version of you?
Yeah.
I saw the drawing. I didn't get a chance to watch the speed painting of it. That's something you did while you were on your on your trip?
Yeah, that was on the Wacom mobile studio.
I just tried to take the companion out to do some live streaming outside. I had tested it indoors to see if it would work, hooking it up to the Elgato, just the same setup I'm doing here, but not with the green screen. Got it out there, got everything all set up, which took a pretty considerable amount of time. And then the Elgato wouldn't work. It kept saying you need USB 3.0, which it has, but apparently maybe Elgato needs powered USB 3.0. So then I plugged it into my OmniCharge, which is basically a wall outlet that you can take with you, and it still didn't work. And
I bought a couple of USB free adapters.
Oh, just extra, like a hub with extra ports?
No. They're just little dongles
That do what?
that just convert USB to USB 3.
Oh, I see.
Sorry, USB-C.
I see, for USB-C.
And they only cost about $5 each. But so many computers now use USB-C.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a nice little investment. You know.
The mic port didn't work either, so I don't know that you can plug in a microphone to the companion. I thought you could. On the specs it says there's an audio combo jack, whatever that is. I couldn't really determine, but it wouldn't take my
Really?
Yeah, it wouldn't take my microphone. So because my I was trying to do the audio through the Elgato, and that didn't work, and the microphone didn't work, and I was outside.
Did you include that in your review?
Well, no, because I just found this out.
All right.
So basically what I had to do in order to get sound is I had to Skype with myself through a Wi-Fi hotspot on my phone while I was live streaming, which for one made a delay, and for two it just like ate up all my bandwidth, which was already pretty limited anyway, so it was kind of a disaster. But so what I did is I bought a USB little dongle thing, kind of like what you were talking about, and it has a mic input. So I just plug that in, and then hopefully next time I try to do that outdoor live stream, I will
I
have.
have one of those little dongle things here, and it has a mic input and a headphone input. Are they the ones you're on about?
Yeah, is it? They have a bunch of different ones. The one I got is the Audio Technica one.
Yeah, mine's unbranded, but it has it's just USB, and it has a headphone jack and a microphone jack.
Yeah, that's basically what I got.
It's just a couple of dollars, basically.
I got
But it keep
I got the one that was a little bit more, because it has like a mute button and volume control. But now I'm thinking I probably won't even use that. But it just, I don't know. It looked a little bit.
I originally only bought this because I was gonna crack it open and rip out one of the jacks to
Oh,
use as to use in a bit of a side project. But then I decided against it. So it just sat on the side in a cabinet.
yeah,
But now I'm using it because I'm tidying my entire studio.
yeah. If it's going to be kind of a focal point for your videos, it's nice to have it looking good.
Oh yeah, I'm tidying my studio from top to bottom. It's gonna look awesome. You know, so far I've spent a fair bit of money just on some new equipment just to do that, and because I want to create the kind of artist studio that everybody will envy,
Yeah,
basically. And I think it's going to be absolutely awesome.
I need to upgrade my
Because I
desk.
do get asked a lot of questions about my studio, and it'd be nice to just say, "Here, this is exactly what you need."
Yeah,
You know.
studio is one of those things that's it's pretty important, and a lot of people kind of overlook their space that they work in. But you got to be
Yeah.
comfortable.
I want to cover every aspect of it, like down to the finest detail.
Yeah,
Because I've had people say to me, "Oh, I want to cover your exact setup,"
mm-hmm.
and that made me realize, you know what? I better get every aspect of my studio perfect then.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment.
A lot of colors on this animal here. Again, I think I've spent probably way more time than I should have spent on this one drawing. Well, good thing is there's no expectation that was set about how many drawings I have to do.
Until you get there and somebody says, "Aaron's gonna do 50 drawings," and you're like, "What?"
Yeah, no, I'll be sure to make sure that if anybody wants me to do 50 drawings, that they'll be like 10 seconds each. Yeah.
Yeah, but you
'Cause
don't
it's-
want to.
Well, no, because I'm going to put this up later, and I don't want to look like a chump.
I'm gonna. I know some people. You're doing this for Skype, so I know some people over at Microsoft. I'm gonna email them and say Aaron's really excited about tomorrow.
Yeah, give
We
him a
did this
hard time.
live stream. He says, he's gonna do this and this and this for you.
It's going to draw
Who's your
blindfolded.
contact again?
I'll tell him I'll draw blindfolded, and
Do you know something? I used to go to this life drawing group, and they used to do challenges. And one of the challenges was drawing without looking at what you're drawing.
yeah,
And I know you've done this as a video a few times. Well, no, I know you've done this as a video, but I know you've done it a few times.
yeah,
And I used to love that challenge because they used to give away a prize for it, and I used to win it every time,
Yeah.
and it used to annoy people because I was naturally good at drawing without looking what I was drawing.
Yeah.
There was no reason for it. I was just good at it
Yeah, it's hard to do.
because I know where my hand is at all times. That line is nothing like the one on the other side.
It's a pretty cool samurai.
Well, I figured what I'd do is kind of all black and then lines because then it looks a bit more futuristic.
Yeah.
You know, like I could drop a red or a green on top of this, and then it'd be like boom.
Yeah.
And because of the colors on the helmet, because of the tone on the helmet, it kind of looks like shiny metal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making stuff up now.
No, it does. The sharp, not blended highlights makes it really look like chrome or something really, really shiny. Wolverine the animal.
Not to be confused with anything we might have to pay Stan Lee for.
You didn't get any of my money, Stanley.
Nope. Who do you think we are? Jack Kirby?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Burn. Marvel burn.
Yeah. Knowledgeable comic book burn.
Comic book nerd burn. Should get back into comics. Have you seen the, do you have Netflix?
Oh, yeah.
Have you been watching the new Bill Nye show?
No, I haven't. I saw it came up, but I haven't watched it.
It's kind of cool. It's there's some things about it where he's trying to appeal to younger audiences that kind of, or I don't know, just kind of stupid to me. But
He's been trying with the younger audiences for a while now, and I just wonder, you know, like, I think it was ever since the Big Bang got him invited on, and it's kind of like, oh, is it a bit too tiresome?
well, he's just doing like fist bumps and stuff like that. It's just like, come on,
Yeah.
dude. Fist bumping is like so 2008.
Yeah, but it's Bill Nye. He's kind of Bill Nye behind the times guy.
Yeah.
Nobody expects him to actually be cool. Maybe that's what's cool about Bill Nye.
Yeah. Well, no, I get that, but just it seems kind of out of character for him. Like
Yeah.
it's pandering to an audience, which, you know.
Yeah. I think maybe that's what Netflix is about, though.
Well, yeah, it is definitely that and shameless
I
self-promotion.
mean, they are doing that new TV show, which I won't mention the name of, that is making a lot of people cancel their Netflix subscriptions.
Oh, I haven't heard about that.
Okay. I won't say anything more about it then, but Yeah, they're running a new show at the moment, which is making a lot of people cancel their Netflix subscriptions.
Huh. Is it like something political or?
Um, I wouldn't necessarily say so, but a lot of people are considering it um, controversial.
Huh. Interesting.
It's based on a movie that a lot of people, again, found controversial
Yeah.
for
Huh.
both its title and its subject, and I'm presuming some of its content. So, you thought Netflix would have known to leave it well enough alone, but eh,
Yeah. They want to make that money.
exactly. Grumpy Picker 123 says, "Hats me." Oh no 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 no.
What? Something not nice to draw?
Yeah, I thought they were saying that they were gonna subscribe.
Oh, they want us to subscribe to them?
Yeah, they're saying please sub.
Yeah. Um. Oh, I accidentally clicked the block button. Dang it.
Oh
Oh well.
no! Come on, dude, not cool. Coming to other people's channels, asking for subs.
Well, like, how many people are like, oh, okay, I'm gonna quit watching this and I'm gonna go subscribe to that person's channel that I know nothing about? I mean,
Oh.
maybe some people will do that. I don't know.
I don't think that's ever actually happened in the history of YouTube. Do you know something though that is actually ways that you might actually get subs, and that is just to be actually cool,
Yeah, make some videos.
just to be nice, hand out good advice to people, just to be a genuine, awesome person.
Be part of the community. You gotta give something to get something.
Yep.
The more likely, the more you do for others, the more likely it's going to be that you yourself are going to get the things that you want.
The thing is, they don't realize is that even if you did get subs from just flat out asking without giving, is that all that's going to happen is that people would sub to you, but then never come back and actually watch.
Yeah.
And subs don't actually mean anything. Like your sub numbers don't mean a thing. It's your view numbers that mean something.
Yeah.
So, like, there are channels out there with like 5K subs that actually command more power than channels with 100,000 subs
Mm-hmm.
because their videos get more views. Which sounds totally weird, but it's totally true.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, people are watching what they want to watch. They're not watching what people are telling them to watch.
Yeah.
Unless
I
you watch.
watched loads of channels without subbing to them.
Yeah, it's hard to get people to subscribe because, a lot of people just want to do it on their own.
Mm. Well, loads
Like,
of channels are the channels you kind of don't subscribe to as well.
yeah. Except for ours. Everyone should subscribe to our channel. Our channels.
Oh, yeah. Holy... I didn't mean ours. You'd have to be crazy to think that I meant, I meant people like that idiots. That was a bit too geeky. Yeah.
Just realizing I said probably like 15 minutes ago that I had already spent too much time on this and I'm still working on it.
You know what? Rim light.
Yeah.
Or just shadow underneath. Shadow underneath.
And then call it good.
When you get too deep, I always find start doing the finishing details and then just see where you get to.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this guy, I'm in the same mindset as you. I'm thinking I've spent like a little while on him now. Don't want to go too much further. So I just done a bit of a rim light, which I should have actually done on a separate layer, but I did it with the eraser. So now I'm thinking I'm just going to drop flat color, change that to like say overlay, which was totally wrong. Change that to multiply. This gives a nice look actually.
Yeah.
Another layer. This is just for like some detail. I don't know whether this is going to work or how well this bit's going to work. This bit might suck. Bear with me, people. This is time for screen. Soft light? No.
Let's move that up a little bit. I think that's looking all right for a Wolverine.
It's looking lovely. It's a very nice Wolverine.
Thank you.
I bet most people out there didn't even know what a Wolverine looked like.
I bet people thought it was
Put your hands up if you knew what a Wolverine looked like.
Whoa. What are you doing to that cat, Lawrence?
That's the Wolverine.
Oh, it is.
I presume. I don't know what a Wolverine sounds like. Do you know what a Wolverine sounds like?
I would imagine, since they're a part of the weasel family, that they probably have a more wimpy voice than you would imagine. Wow, that's really dark. I just looked up at the screen.
What, like that?
That's probably a bit closer. I don't know. They probably like do little squeaks and stuff, I would think, or maybe they snarl a lot. I don't know. Let me see if I can't improve that a bit. Okay, that's a little more washed out than it should be, but that's closer to the colors that you should be seeing for the Wolverine, because it was really dark. I wonder if I can maybe turn that on. There we go. Backlight compensation helps a bit. That's much better for the color. And then it actually should, if you were seeing it less squished, then it should look more like that. It looks kind of like a raccoon now from your view of it. So maybe I should just take my camera and move it so it's not such a jacked up view. Oh no. Okay, that's better. That's better. And I can take that and then just move it over so you can see the whole thing. there's my Hugh Jackman.
Do you know what? I really want you to draw the mask on it.
The Wolverine mask. The 80s one that's like yellow.
Yeah, with the little whiskers on it.
Or I guess it was like kind of 90s.
Do you remember the proper 80s one there?
Well, there's the yellow and brownish one. I guess that's kind of the 80s one, and then in the 90s, I guess that was the blue and the yellow, right?
Oh, sorry, there was an earlier one that had yeah, no, there was another one that had like 3 whiskers on it.
Oh.
That had really small little earpieces on the top. And it actually had 3 lines on the side.
Yeah.
That were whiskers.
Oh. That sounds kind of weird.
Yeah. It was a bit weird, but it would be the most fitting one for the animal. Because it was the most animalesque mask.
I'm doing it in blue just so I can see it against that background.
Remember, guys, there is always, whoops.
What was that?
There is always super chat.
Yeah, you accidentally hit the morning wood button there.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking as well. There's always super chat if anybody has a request.
Oops, I should change the color of that first. A Wolverine wearing a Wolverine mask. There we go, that's kind of what it looked like. All right. I'll make that a bit darker.
Yeah. That's a Wolverine.
That's a proper Wolverine. All right, I like that. group two groups together here. Wolverine. So I think I got maybe one more drawing in me.
Yeah.
And then I'll have to go. Let's see, what time are we at now? We're at an hour 14, so we'll see. Maybe we can go to an hour and a half or 2 hours, depending on.
Well, we normally do like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
I think we once did a 1 hour.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Right, it's coffee and vaping time.
Well, let's see if we can get to 2. So I'll try to keep up on the comments here.
Yep, I've just been reading them. Yep, everyone's loving your Wolverine.
Awesome.
I've seen Luigi mentioned a couple of times now. Somebody wants us to draw Luigi. I was never a giant Mario fan. I don't know if you want to take that one up. Otherwise, I'm going to have to say, not for me.
I always liked Luigi better than Mario, but I'm probably going to stay away from doing fan art.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's like Alf or something. If you ask me to draw Alf, how can I turn that down? Ian's here. What's up, Ian? Good to see you, buddy. Also known as IG Designing. Okay, so feel free to chat in. Quinn wants to know who is ALF. ALF is ALF. It stands for Alien Life Form, and ALF is a puppet with a hand up his butt who sits on a couch and tells a bunch of sarcastic jokes to people in a house in the 80s.
Because he wouldn't leave, basically.
Yeah, it's like they didn't really want him. They were like, "Okay, you're an alien," and he just like hung out and kept trying to eat their cats.
Back in the 80s, if you were a bit weird and hairy, you could just walk into somebody's house and live there. Also proved by Bigfoot.
Oh yeah, they had Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah. That was a movie and a TV show.
Yeah. Yeah, so Alf was basically a sitcom with a puppet.
It was a good show.
Sword and a Stone in a Forest, that's kind of cool. Kind of like Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good suggestion. Who's that from?
Quintervention, or Quinvention. Quintervention.
That's the same person who kept shouting for Luigi.
I like Quintervention. That should be a channel. Just get to give interventions to people from Quinn.
So it's what, a channel for drunk people?
I like Sword and a Stone in a Forest. I'm gonna probably have to simplify it a bit because it's a kind of a complex
You
request.
can do a Sword and a Stone and just have trees, well, greenage behind it.
Yeah. Just put in a little bit of greenage, buddy.
Greenage, buddy. Yeah.
Is that how people talked in LA?
No. It was similar, but
This is not showing up. I'm putting down 2 different blues and they all look like the same blue here. So I need to...
What are you on about? Anyway, you're practically from LA.
Kind of, but not really.
Close enough.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
As far as I'm concerned.
Well, you know. I guess someday you'll see. It's a very, very different place than LA.
Yeah, someday.
Someday when we do our world tour.
Yeah. Someday when we get we get a couple of sponsors. When we talk Corel into sponsoring us. When we get Corel and Wacom to sponsor us across America. On that first leg of our world tour.
Well, that is something I've had on my Patreon of goals, is to do a tour. I think that would be fun.
You can't let the people pay for this.
Sure, I can.
No, but I mean, you can't expect that they will. We got to rope in, we got to rope in the big brands.
Yeah.
Get them paying. We know they're watching too.
Yeah. If you own a big corporation, click on that super chat button and super chat us.
Ding, 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 ding.
$10,000 each.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Actually, you know something? After already coming to LA, I can tell you now, it doesn't cost that much to get me over there. I will fly economy again. It doesn't cost that much to get over there. I'll ride in the sidecar. Aaron, can you drive a motorbike?
Sure.
Scratch that. Actually, we'll just get a car. Have you got a car?
See these like giant scars on my face? Those are all from crashing a motorbike.
There you go. We'll motorbike. Route 66. You and me, drawing across America.
Yeah, I think that would be fun.
Yeah, I want to do it.
It would be like Dumb and Dumber, kind of. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah, you get your hair cut like that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I get a bowl cut.
Mine's practically there.
So you'd be Jeff Daniels and I'd be Jim Carrey. That's what we've decided.
Oh, right. Great.
Looks like the sword is sticking out of my head. I didn't plan for that intentionally. So it's going to be the sword and the stoned.
I don't even get to be Jim Carrey. Not that he's the cool one.
No, that's a no-win situation there.
It really is. I haven't seen the second one, so I can't comment on like how that went. But
I think I started to watch it and I think I turned it off pretty early in the game because it was stupid.
I didn't hear too much about it, so I'm guessing it wasn't that great. Unless they want to sponsor us, in which case I heard it was amazing.
Yeah.
Highest bidder people.
Go even brighter with that highlight. It's interesting. I have to kind of make stuff a bit brighter for it to even show up. It's almost like it'd make more sense if I was just looking at the camera while I was painting rather than my tablet.
Yeah, rather than your painting. It would feel very much like, you were traveling back 10 years in terms of Wacom technology there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I don't think it'd be a real problem, but still. It's funny, I actually used one of the old, style of tablets.
Mm-hmm.
More traditional tablets. And I didn't mind it, but made me appreciate what other people were using,
Yeah.
and I thought that was quite nice.
It'd be kind of fun to collect old tablets. But
Oh well, I found myself looking on eBay at a Wacom 1212U, which was the old style tablet that I had in the 90s.
yeah. Just to get one out of nostalgia.
That's what I was thinking. Put it on the wall in the studio. But then, I thought better of it.
Yeah. Well, it's just, more junk, I guess, to have around.
I think my wife would probably kick my ass.
Yeah, she'd be like, what is this?
Spending, it's a tablet that obviously doesn't work.
Yeah. And even
Well,
if
it might have worked, but it didn't come with a stylus
well, and you'd
or the cables.
you'd never want to use it anyways.
No. But knowing me, once I actually bought it, I'd probably spend ages tracking down the cables and stuff and trying to get it up and running, even though there's no point to it.
Oh yeah, who knows if the drivers would even work for that on a modern computer?
I'm pretty sure you could get the legacy drivers working.
Yeah.
Because you can run emulators and everything. If you can get old Nintendo drivers working, you know what I mean?
Well, there's a demand for that though, and so somebody made it.
Yeah, but if you can get those things working, then I'm sure you can get anything else working.
Yeah. Well, I think even Wacom has legacy drivers. I don't know how far back they go, but
Yeah.
you can download a lot of their older drivers.
Did you watch Ghost in the Shell yet?
No, I never really got into that as an anime, so I haven't. Is it any good?
I mean, being a dad, I kind of miss out on a lot of stuff, but I did manage to see that. Wasn't overly impressed, but I got to say it was due to my original thought on that, which was I just didn't think she was the right actress for it.
Yeah. A lot of people are upset because it should have been an Asian cast. They're the lead character.
I wasn't bothered about that one way or the other. I just don't like. I just didn't like her. I just thought she was a bit short and frumpy for somebody who was supposed to be kind of more slender and athletic. And
Yeah, that makes sense.
you could just flip that.
Flip it?
Flip it.
For what purpose?
So it wouldn't be in your head.
Oh, I want it to be in my head though.
Okay.
Otherwise I have to finish the rest of it. I don't want to do that. I have to draw the stone. I could do the stone. Why not? I just thought it was kind of funny having it stuck in my head like that.
Yeah. I get it. I'm just saying.
All right, I'll flip it. I'll flip it.
Or you should just try to be helpful.
I'm going to group it. Oops. Keep forgetting that that's a background layer. Okay. I've been using mostly one brush, which is the smooth palette knife. Very nice brush. Oh, let's try the old mountain knife here. bit of rock action there.
Not The Rock, obviously.
Yeah, it's like when you do a Google search for The Rock, you have to do The Rock, the mineral. Otherwise, you get Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Who's done extremely well for himself now that he's out of wrestling.
When I watched wrestling, which was when The Rock was pretty big, I've since stopped watching it. I like The Rock. He was kind of a
I was never into wrestling.
yeah. It's
Like,
really
all my friends were into it in the 90s, and I was just like, meh, whatever.
yeah. I liked it for a short period of time. I think it was more of a nostalgia thing, because that's what was cool when I was a kid, was wrestling, like Hulk Hogan and the Macho Man Randy Savage, and now all those people are. It's funny, just all the people that were your role models, or at least my role models as a kid, ended up having some sort of controversy or something, and are definitely not role models nowadays.
Oh, well, this is it. They all got in trouble in some way, some massive, painful way, didn't they?
Yeah, well, like
Like, look at what happened to Hulk Hogan.
Bill Cosby and Michael
Oh,
Jackson. I really liked Michael Jackson a lot. You know, and that's not to say that he's necessarily like guilty of anything that he's been accused of, but he's definitely like did some weird stuff. So, you know,
yeah, exactly.
Macaulay Culkin. I liked Macaulay Culkin a lot because I liked Home Alone. Pee Wee Herman.
Oh,
It's like nearly everybody I liked as a kid ended up being some sort of.
I can't believe Pee Wee Herman got to come back, though, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you know, all he did was, you know, he did what everyone else was doing in a theater. You know, that was the venue for that. But because he was famous, and I guess kind of technically, like Pee Wee's Playhouse was originally meant for adults. Like it was an adult show, and you could probably pull it up on the internet and watch it. But then they ended up turning it into a kids show. But he was also, before he was in Pee Wee's Playhouse, he was in a lot of the Cheech and Chong movies. He was the cheeseburger guy. So, you know, still
Yeah,
like
yeah, no, you're right.
still like Paul Rubens. Let's call him by his real name.
But he spent years in obscurity because of all of it.
Yeah.
You know, unable to work in any, you know.
That's the price that comes with fame, you know. There's a lot of artists out there who, you know, would love to be famous, but then once you are, you don't get a break. People are constantly bad-mouthing you. People are constantly bothering you. You know, people are constantly trying to exploit you. Your career can get ruined like that. I don't know if it sounds like it's really much fun. But
Yeah, watch out, people. You know, you don't want to be on YouTube.
no.
I think YouTube is a sniff for the most part.
Have you noticed any decrease in the amount of money that you're making through AdSense since a lot of those sponsors pulled out?
No, and I'm getting sick and tired of a certain lot of people making a lot of money from this thing. That's all I'm noticing, is that certain YouTubers just seem to be blowing this thing out of all proportion, and they seem to be making a lot of money out of posting videos about it.
Well, you know, that was the exact same attitude I had at first, but then I've looked at my stats for the last 90 days, and I've actually lost quite a bit of money in ad revenue.
Really?
Yep.
You're the first person I've ever heard actually say that.
Yeah, no, it's true. It isn't gonna destroy my channel or anything, but it's
Yeah,
um,
but the fact that they're calling it like adpocalypse,
well, it is in a sense because if
I just
you
thought they were blowing it out of all proportion.
well, as I'm sure some people are because they're taking advantage of that being like a fear thing, so they'll get it's clickbait. But if you're a YouTuber, let's say you're a person who you have millions and millions of subscribers, like you're actually making a lot of money off of ad revenue. You've probably put yourself in a position where you got all cocky and you have a really nice house and you have a nice car and you have all this stuff where you have to bring in a lot of money each year to be able to pay for that lifestyle. And all of a sudden, if that gets cut down by quite a bit, you're in a situation where you have all these things that you owe money for, but you can't actually pay for, then you're probably really concerned. I wouldn't put myself in a situation like that. That's why I don't invest all my time and effort into one thing
No.
because I'm wise enough not to, make myself vulnerable like that. But a lot of those big YouTubers aren't. They think that whatever they're doing now is going to sustain them long term, but they're just a fad. They're a little blip, No one's going to care who those people are. Does anybody give two craps about anybody who was on American Idol? And that was, a really popular show, and it's just, unless you invest your money well, you're it's something that could just go poof and just disappear.
Oh yeah.
And I feel that way about what I'm doing. I could wake up one day and, they're just not be able to make money in the same way. But I'd find something else to do. So for me personally, PewDiePie screwed me. He took bread out of my mouth, man. But it wasn't just PewDiePie. It's also YouTube letting all these racists and white nationalists spew a bunch of hate speech and have channels, and then Disney's ads get put on those videos because Disney's just buying a block of ads and an algorithm is just distributing them randomly. So
I was going to say, really, it's down to YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube shouldn't let those channels even exist because they violate YouTube's terms of service.
Yeah.
So then people like me who have an education channel are, I'm losing money. And it's, it isn't like I'm losing half my income each month because YouTube AdSense is a slice of the pie and it's not the biggest slice. But it's, it's not enough to be a big deal because it's a fluctuation that happens naturally anyways. Like there's going to be months where you make a few hundred or a few less dollars, but to be able to just see
YouTube does ask questions, about your channel and what you do on it.
Yeah.
In the revenue bit.
They do, but apparently people aren't entirely honest about their channel so that they can put up whatever kind of content they want.
But this is it. And therein lies the problem. But YouTube, it can listen to your videos.
Yeah.
Can't it?
I think so. So it should be able to tell, but apparently it can't.
Exactly. So it should be able to tell that you're playing racist crap.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's what you say. There's a lot of dog whistle racism stuff out there where people don't outwardly use a racial slur, and can still say things about groups of people, and so sure, there's ways around it. I mean, there's these people.
Maybe YouTube just didn't honestly care and were just slapping adverts on everything to make as much money as they could.
Well, yeah, that's what they're doing.
Now they've been caught and.
But there's people out there who didn't come out of thin air. There's people like we're doing a live stream about art right now, but there's people out there who are doing live streams about how Mexicans are taking everybody's jobs and all this just whatever crap. Muslims are going to blow up your country or whatever, and they have millions of subscribers and they're YouTube celebrities. So it's not like their channel is just popping up. It's been up for a while. YouTube knew YouTube contacted me because my channel had a certain amount of trajectory increase and wanted to help me build my channel and make it better. And so they're aware of channels that are doing well. So it's like Twitter. Like why does Donald Trump get to use Twitter as a platform to spread propaganda? Because they've banned other people for saying the same things he said, but he continues to get to use it. It's interesting, and it's all about money. That's what it comes down to.
Yep. And because he's the president.
Yeah, well, some people think so. I think if you're going to be a leader, you people have to respect you. That's in most cultures, even the most ancient ones, leaders are chosen because they're respected by the community, not because of some antiquated system that it's almost like winning the lottery, But now the bar is set pretty low, I mean, I don't know who your worst prime minister's ever been, but think about that bar versus our bar now.
Well, many people would say it's Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah.
I would actually say it was Tony Blair.
Yeah. But even so, I'd equate Tony Blair to being more like George W. Bush, is a guy who came from money, and he's, establishment politician, just kind of doing, the everyday kind of stuff. But he's not.
It wasn't naturally what Tony Blair did while he was prime minister. It's what Tony Blair did after he was prime minister.
Yeah.
He's a warmonger, and
Yeah.
he's actually guilty of war crimes. So.
Yeah, that's I hope within our lifetime things change and we start to kind of become more global, like people start working together and stop killing each other.
Well, the people of France are trying to Brexit, don't you?
Yeah, well they've got a pretty interesting choice between two candidates.
Yeah, well, the vote was the other day, wasn't it?
Oh, they already did it, or I thought it was like a preliminary vote.
Yeah, but it cut down the candidates to 2.
Yeah, so it's basically a female Donald Trump and then a kind of Justin Trudeau or Barack Obama, in the sense that he has a decent platform, but he's still an establishment politician who's in the pockets of people with money.
He's not even a politician, he's a banker.
Yeah, well, who's really a politician anyways,
Well, he's basically... all it means is that if he gets it, yeah, he's in the pockets of certain people. He's the popular vote for now, but in the same way that Hillary was.
Yeah. Well, that didn't go over too well here, so
Well, this is the thinking that be interesting to see how it turns out.
Yeah. Putting a little rust on my sword here. Ian's got to go. See you later, Ian. Thanks for watching.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to both of our channels.
I think he is. No, he's subscribed to mine. Ian has a channel too. You should check out. He's got some pretty cool stuff on there.
Cool. Send me a link after the.
Landon wants to know, do you think it's still possible to make a comfortable living as an artist today?
I do.
I think if I can do it, anybody can do it. I don't have a college degree. I'm not, I don't have rich parents who paid for everything for me. I did the starving artist thing. I chose between eating and paying rent and like being able to do anything else. And I did that for a number of years, and I kept at it. And I got to where I am because I worked hard for it. And I think if you do too, you'll be able to get anything you want. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. And I know that's a platitude that everybody tells you, but it's true. You're not going to get anywhere by sitting around thinking something's too hard or complaining that there's some barrier that keeps you from doing it. You just got to do it,
Exactly.
But you have to think outside of the box. Like Lawrence and I aren't, like we're kind of doing something it's not really new. Digital art's been around since the 80s, or quite possibly before that if you consider like proto-digital art. But because it's not an industry that's so oversaturated like the traditional art industry is. Well, I don't know if traditional art's oversaturated. There's a lot of people who do traditional art.
Yeah. You have to find new ways to work within it.
Yeah. Like YouTube, if I didn't have YouTube, I'd have basically no audience, like I'd have some people on Facebook or let's eliminate the internet altogether. I'd be limited at the very maximum to places in Seattle that people go to look at art. If I even was lucky enough to get into galleries, that would be my ceiling that I would hit. YouTube allows you to reach billions of people potentially, and so you can create any opportunity you want. If you watch the video I made about how I made income in 2016 as a full-time YouTube creator, you can see that there's a pie chart and there's a bunch of slices from different sources, and in putting that all together, that's how I can afford to make art all day and get paid for it, because I'm not doing just one thing. I'm constantly trying new things and eliminating things that don't work and focusing it and refining it down into something that sustains me.
Exactly.
So it's trial and error. You don't need to be educated in the sense that you need to go to school or take a class or have somebody teach you something. You can learn everything on your own by failing.
And the funny thing is, there are some ridiculously expensive like concept art schools and things out there. I'd get mobbed for saying that, but and some people think you have to go all this, and really it's about practice, just working hard at it, putting yourself out there, talking to people, getting the right kind of feedback, just putting in the effort.
Yeah.
But is it hard to actually, is it possible to actually make a living doing it? Yeah. Just have to work hard enough to try and, I mean, the only thing is actually, getting the clients in.
Yeah.
You can. It's about being inventive. Things like getting an agent, going direct, things like social media, YouTube. Every time you see somebody doing something, new ways of getting to people. Just being as inventive as possible to get yourself out there, get in front of people, show off your work. You got to try everything.
Yeah. Got to try new things, because otherwise you get left behind. Nothing works forever. And I've said this before, but and I actually have a video on it that will be coming out eventually. A lot of the time when you're trying to follow an example, you're trying to follow a model that someone else established for you, and that's maybe ascertained through art history books or watching a documentary about Pablo Picasso or something and going, okay, he went to art school and then he got into galleries and so on, and trying to follow that model works for Picasso and it works for people that are Picasso's contemporaries. But now that the internet exists, you have to you have to use the internet because that's what everyone else uses. And at the time, Picasso used whatever everyone else used to get his work out there. And if the internet existed, maybe he would have used it. So, if you want to be Picasso, I hate to tell you, but doing things that way is very, very difficult, and it probably isn't going to work for most people. However, if you use the internet, you really can make your own rules and you can define your own path. And maybe a lot of other people from that point forward will follow your path because you're showing people how to be a successful artist in the modern age. And that's kind of what Lawrence and I are doing. People are watching us because we're showing people what's working and what's not.
And hopefully we're doing that correctly. It's tough, but we're just trying to find the right paths ourselves.
Yeah.
And a lot of this, I started YouTube because I thought this was going to be a great way to put myself out there, to get clients to see me. My first YouTube video, in fact, was done because I work with Corel, and Corel said to me, "Hey, can you do us a video, just explain to people who you are and what you do?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, of course I can." So I made this video, gave it to Corel, and they put it out there, for people to see. And then I was left with this video myself, and I thought, what can I do with this video? So I thought, I'll put this on YouTube. I looked around at other artists' YouTube channels, and they had tutorials, speed paintings, things like that. So I thought I'd do a few of those, so this video wouldn't be lonely. And then after I did that, I thought, other artists have got tech reviews and things. So I thought, well, I'll review a couple of things that I've got kicking around here. So I did a few of those. And then I noticed the views that I had on the tech stuff was more than the views that I had on my tutorials, by quite a lot. So ever since, I've been doing more tech reviews and things than and tutorials and speed paintings and things, and I still do a good mix of both. But my channel is these days more focused on tech talk for artists. And mine and Aaron's channel is very, very similar, but we both do tutorials, we both do speed paintings, we both do reviews, but we both have slightly different focuses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more tech talk, and Aaron's more tutorial focused.
I'm all over the place.
It was ever since that April Fool's joke.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing antacid reviews now.
Oh yeah.
That stands alone as on its own as a pretty damn good antacid review, I gotta say.
Yeah, you happy with that?
Yeah, it's like finding your own path. If you've ever gone hiking, what are the more fun places to explore? The places that are on that same path that everybody takes, or when you go off the path and you stomp through the bushes and all of a sudden you find some really cool place where there's nobody else, and there's a view that not many people get to appreciate. That's kind of what it's like to be an artist nowadays on YouTube. You're exploring. You're not going on a hike and looking at all of the scenic points of view that are obvious, because everyone's gone down that path. And when you get there, sure enough, you want to go look at that nice view, but there's 10 or 20 or 30 people blocking your view of it because they're all there too.
Yeah, everyone wants to see that lovely view.
It's like you go to the zoo, you want to see the wolves, you can't because there's a bunch of people.
Wolverine's there instead.
Yeah.
He wants to see those wolves. You can't say anything because he's Wolverine.
So I think Wolverine was a not really intended to be a character. He was like kind of like just a random guest appearance in, I think, an early Hulk comic. And I think he was actually, people speculate that he looked more like an actual Wolverine and wasn't like at all the Wolverine character of today.
He was supposed to be like a monster. He wasn't a baddie, but he was supposed to be more of a monster type character.
Yeah. And it's
if I
interesting.
if I remember correctly.
It's just interesting how he evolved into what he is today. And
I think over 50% of X-Men though started life as baddies.
yeah. Yeah, and it gets confusing too with what they do with the movies nowadays. They keep juxtaposing them between being heroes and villains, you know. Or some people are ambiguous, which is fine, but um,
I find it annoying that they don't pick from like a certain point in Marvel's history. It's like, right, you use kind of either 90s X-Men, you know, kind of uncanny X-Men, or use like current storylines or something. Just don't like stop and restart everything. Or
yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is what they always seem to do. They can't stick to a storyline.
They just want to anger the nerds.
Yeah, that's the thing. They just seem to upset everyone. They
I like
can't seem to be nice to some group of people.
I like your samurai. That'd make a cool like book cover or poster or something.
I wasn't as happy with it as I thought I could have been, but
Yeah.
I'm proud enough of it.
That's kind of how I feel about everything I draw on these live streams. It's like, you know, if it's good enough for what we're doing, I think that's fine. It's just
Yeah.
I'm finding later when people watch it out of context, you know, then they complain. But it's like if you watch the whole live stream and you saw how much time I spent on it, you might be impressed by how little time I spent on it, you know?
Yeah. Sometimes, you know, I'll come out of a live stream and be like, that drawing was really good.
Yeah.
And other times I'm like, I spent ages on that and it just didn't look good at all.
Yeah. Well, you know, failure is part of being an artist too, and I think people like seeing that. It makes us look more like we're human.
Exactly.
So I think I gotta probably call it a day on this one.
Yeah.
I might try to do another live stream tonight. We'll see. I might just end up resting up for tomorrow. But I know when it's tonight for me, it's like 5 a.m. for you or something.
Yeah, now and again I'm there.
You're still awake.
Yeah, you know me. So you can always just see if I'm there.
So if anybody has any last comments, feel free to get them in. We'll start wrapping this up.
Yeah, you can always just throw money at us at this point.
But yeah, I mean the thing is like
We'll just take your money at this point.
it's motivation for us to do more of these. You know, if
Yeah.
you were us and you had to choose between, you know, like what do I need to do
Take
today?
the money.
I need to finish editing a course that I'm making. I have work that I'm commissioned to do from a bunch of different clients, but I'm choosing to do this live stream because it's fun to do. But just imagine if we were making money off of it, it would be an easy decision. Lawrence and I would probably want to do live streams, you know, on the regular. But it's one of those things where I guess it's kind of a treat for us and for you because, you know, it's something that takes a lot of time and effort, but you don't really make any money off of it. Unless of course,
That's it, guys.
you get, you know, you start pulling in some super chats and
Yeah.
so I'm just
I think
saying.
that's fair enough.
And
We're just saying we want your cash. That's all.
And you know, there's lots of people who have super chatted before. Much appreciated. Anything helps to support what we're doing.
Yeah. at this point, it's really just it just helps us out as creators, to keep bringing our channels to you and keep doing what we do. Reviewing tech, creating tutorials, putting in the hours behind the scenes, everything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I got to have money to be able to buy antacids from Costco to do more reviews, so help me out here. Those things are not cheap. That was a big bottle, man.
That's very true.
That was fun too. I thought of that like right at the last minute. I was like, oh yeah, it's April Fool's. I should just throw something together. And so if
I didn't even realize it was April Fool's.
Yeah.
But I noticed a lot of people were calling, like, Microsoft put out a video online, and it wasn't even April the 1st when they put it out. It was the day before, and they put out a video of all of their tech, all of the Surface line. They've got something, they've got the Surface Pro, the Surface Book, Surface Studio, but they've also got another one that not many people know about called the Surface Hub, which is a 72-inch Surface.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why
I know
would
someone who has one.
Why would anybody even need that much screen space?
It's just basically a giant TV.
Yeah.
And it's mounted on the wall. And imagine nobody buys this.
Yeah.
You have it on the conference wall in an office.
Yeah, it's more for presentations.
Yeah, that's what it's for. The stylus for it isn't the normal stylus. It's like a marker. Do you know what I mean? It's not exactly like a normal Surface.
Yeah.
But it is.
It's like a digital whiteboard, kind of.
Yeah. Imagine it being more like that.
Yeah.
But it's very, very cool. But they put the video out with the entire range on, including that, out the day before April 1st, and loads of people, because they only saw it the next day, thought this was an April Fool's joke.
That's funny. Unintentional April Fool's joke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was watching it going, what? This? I watched the video twice thinking, what? Why is this an April Fool's joke? What?
Yeah.
Because I found it via Twitter, thinking, oh, Microsoft have put out an April Fool's joke. And I was like, huh? No? What?
Not quite.
But hey.
Well, I guess we will we'll go ahead and...
Oh, Mary has put in a $2 super chat.
Thank you, Mary. My chat's
Thank you, Mary.
My chat's not updating.
That will be well spent.
That's weird. It's not even showing up on my end. Let me refresh.
Maybe it's just for me.
Let me refresh. Because my chat's not going either, so I think maybe that's just locked up.
All right. Well, it's there.
I believe it. I believe it. Because I know Mary. There it is. I see it. I just had to refresh.
Landon says we have a very specific target audience. We do. It's very true. Digital artists. It's quite specific, but there's a lot of us.
Yeah.
I will say this, in my videos, I answer every question in my chat, in my comments. If you look, I talk to everybody, and my conversations are detailed. My community is well built upon, and there are not just digital artists there. It's actually quite a wide breadth of creatives. Animators, artists, photographers, painters, everybody, who uses the equipment like the Wacom tablets, high processor kind of equipment, like, mobile tablets as well, like Surface Pros. So really, we do get kind of a larger audience than you might just think,
Mm-hmm.
which is absolutely very, very cool, because it means that we get a lot of people with a wide cross section of information, and we can ask each other a lot of different questions, which
Mm-hmm.
is absolutely cool, because it means next time I do a review on something, I can find out, who asked me that thing, because I can go back and ask them something for an upcoming review, which I'm constantly doing. If I want to review something, I'm always like asking people teaser questions, so I have a bit of background information on what I want to review next, and that always works out brilliantly as well.
Mm-hmm.
Snowy the Bear says hi. Hello.
What's up, Snowy?
We're just wrapping up.
Um, Thanks, Mary. I don't know if you saw, I gave you a little shout out on my drawing here. Much appreciated, as always. Mary is always very supportive to both of us. It's one
What
of
is the weirdest thing both of us drew?
Ooh, that'll be a.
Oh, in our entire lives. I thought you just meant in the live stream. We've drawn lots of weird stuff in live streams because we did requests, which we
Mm-hmm.
need to do. We need to do, like you said, that our random draw stuff,
Mm-hmm.
the combination ones.
Yeah, yeah, definitely some weird stuff in there.
My secret shame is Barbie.
Yeah. Nice. Cool.
Can you see that?
Yeah. It's a little blurry, but it says illustration by Lawrence Mann.
Yep.
Nice. You illustrated
Yeah,
the
Lawrence Mann has drawn Barbie for a living.
yeah. One of my clients, when I was doing more graphic design, or was doing graphic design in the past, owns an adult or a bachelorette party supply company. So she makes games for bachelorette parties. And I don't know if you're familiar with bachelorette parties, but they're usually very penis centric in everything. There's like penis hats and penis straws, and like everything's a penis. So naturally, anytime I'd have to do a design for her box art for her games, or design cards for the games and things like that, they would always be like little like cartoon caricatures of penises. So I don't know how many different just like weird things I would have to draw. I've done a lot of other like just kind of adult humor kind of things that are really like they're not normally things that I would draw, but I'm an open-minded person, so I don't care. Like I've drawn things for all
No,
kinds
it's
of
fine.
all,
We all drew willies as kids, so why not
Yeah.
draw them and get paid for it?
yeah. But eventually I just kind of got tired of drawing penises, so I stopped working for her. That wasn't entirely why, but X-Men. There you go. That's
Yep.
the Fox cartoon.
Yep.
Nice.
On DVD. There you go.
Cool.
That's mine as well.
Nice.
And also,
Fantastic Four. Nice.
yep.
Cool. Got quite the spread there.
I have drawn for Marvel.
Nice. I like that X-Men cartoon. One of the better.
All I got in return was crappy Spider-Man. No, I'm joking.
You got a Pez
I,
dispenser.
I've had this for 20 years. Yeah, for roughly 20 years. The first job I ever did for Marvel was, those magazines where they have like a figurine on the front,
Mm-hmm.
and like every month there's a different figurine with the magazine.
Yeah.
I did like an illustration for one of those one time, and this was the figurine that came with it.
Nice. Spidey.
I don't have the magazine anymore,
Oh,
but this was the figurine that came with it.
that's cool.
And my son is obsessed with Spider-Man already.
Yeah.
And he's only 2, but he's obsessed with Spider-Man. He can't say it. He calls him my man.
My man.
He goes, my man, my man.
Close enough.
He loves him.
Mary says, nice work, Lawrence.
Thank you.
So, I gotta go. So let's say
Snowy the Bear says he wants a Cintiq, but still needs 1,000. Any idea how I can get it? Well, are you saying you have 2,000 then? Is that what you're saying, Snowy?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of ways to do it. You could rob
The other
a
way to
bank.
do it is to get the Dell Canvas. If you go over to my channel, you can watch the review and see if you like the Dell Canvas. The Dell Canvas is coming out at the beginning of July, and it will cost 1,700.
Yeah, there you go. You've already got enough money. I would say rob a bank. Just kidding. Don't do that. Don't take my advice. That was a joke.
Yeah. If you have a look right there, you can see that is the Dell Canvas 27-inch.
Dude,
It's turned
you're
off at the
getting a
minute.
Dell.
And the lighting in my room is bad. But there you go. That's the Dell Canvas 27-inch. I am the only person on YouTube who has reviewed it. World exclusive.
All right. Well, on that note, definitely check out Lawrence's channel for his review of the Dell Canvas and many, many other fine digital art related videos. Make sure to subscribe to Lawrence over here.
Yes.
And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do
I'm-
that.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry, Aaron.
Go ahead.
I'm close to the 5K mark.
Nice. So that's,
I'm close to that 5. And 5K subscribers on YouTube is a big deal.
yeah.
It is. It's like a
Milestone.
landmark.
Milestone.
Milestone.
Yeah.
I was kind of confusing the two.
It's a landstone.
I kept getting near landslide. But yeah, it's a milestone. And I really want to get it. I'm not too far off it. So subscribe, spread the word, share the love, all that stuff. Help me get to that 5K marker. That would be absolutely great. If you like what you see, obviously I'm not telling you to just, help me for no reason. But if you like what you see, help me by any means necessary, especially because I'm no good with things like Reddit. So yeah, please help spread the word.
Yeah.
That'd be absolutely great. Thank you
Subscribing.
very much, people.
Subscribing is a good way to know when we're live streaming too, because we don't always shout it out ahead of time. So if you're subscribed to us, you should get a notification when we're doing live streams on our channels.
Yeah. Plus, I post loads of videos, but I don't exactly post at particular times and days.
Yeah.
So the best way to see my new videos is just to subscribe, rather than to come back to me on particular days.
Yeah, and subscribing is just a way to get a notification. It doesn't cost you any money or anything. It shows you the videos of people you're subscribed to. So just for people who don't know, because I know probably a lot of the reason why. Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for watching this live stream. Thank you, Lawrence, for drawing with me.
My pleasure, sir.
And
Have a great evening.
we will see y'all next time. And make sure to check out. If you're at NAB in Las Vegas, make sure to go by the Skype booth tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time, and I'll be doing some drawing requests there live on Skype for Microsoft. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Bye, Aaron.